Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. Solana has dropped a little bit further since yesterday, and we talked about still lower prices as long as Solana stays below the descending trend line here. We also talked about the possibility that it could retest the previous support level of the wedge from the downside. That seems to have happened. It didn't get through. We then made even a lower high, and so far it made also a slightly lower low compared to the previous one. Currently hovering around 85.65. Here in small, maybe we could even draw here a small descending wedge, but it's only here on the 4-hour chart. It's only a very small one. And I think also here Solana is waiting for the Fed interest rate decision, the funding rates, what the decision will be today. 2:30 Eastern time will be the beginning of that press conference, and everything between, I think 50 and 100 basis points is expected. The higher, obviously, the more it will probably have a negative impact on the crypto market short term. Yeah, it's all about speculation, so short term. I said when we get rejected here, probably the next price target could be around $82 here. We haven't reached it yet, but we are still below the descending trend line here. And really, as long as we are here with the Solana chart below that box, which is a support box, or from that current perspective, it is a resistance box because of all the historical volume. As long as that is the case, and as long as we are below the descending trend line, I don't have much hope for a short-term price increase. So there's a lot of resistance along the way. You can see it if I add the VPVR, the historical volume, have a volume profile here on the chart. You can see that this spike here was really or is really why we have this box here as well. So when we came below it here, we had a huge drop, so that had a major effect, and now we need some sort of additional volume, buying volume, to get back through it to the upside. Overall, medium term, even though there is short-term upside potential. So as I said, if we get above the descending trend line, if we get above this box here, which would be above $92, then yes, there is short-term upside potential, but we need to wait until that happens. Until then, I very, very much have to expect further price drops because we are still in a downtrend, and a downtrend is still at play until we break the previous swing high, and that would be here at $111. That is the previous swing high. We're currently here in a downtrend, making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. Next one might be a lower high. If it is a higher high, then we could be starting to break the downtrend. But what you then need to do, not only a higher high, but also ideally a higher low. And only then you really know that the downtrend is with a high probability broken. Yeah, that is based on trend theory. That is what you need to do. We would need to get at least above $111. Until then, the downtrend is still at play, and going long would be nothing else than speculation, in my opinion. Yeah, there is a lot of resistance along the way between between $88 and $92. The $100 level is the 61.8% Fibonacci level of that overall move here, of that overall wave. It is the $100 level is the 61.8% Fibonacci level. And then we've got various other levels along the way. $105 will be a very important one, and 111. And then the next structurally very important level is the $122 level. That is short term the most relevant resistance level. And then of course the next one here around $143. These are all important levels. As long as we don't get above all of them, I don't believe in a longer term uptrend. Yeah, but of course it's a long way to go, so we don't want to wait for that. But this is at which point above that $144 level that we can be much more confident that we are starting here a longer term uptrend. Until then, unfortunately, because of the volatility in the market, lower prices are still possible here. And I remain of my view that, also based on my Elliott wave count here, much lower prices are possible for Solana as well. And I'm talking about that medium term. Yeah, so that could be as long as we are below the descending trend line, or when Bitcoin comes down, which I still expect below 20 and 29K. I do expect still Solana also to come down here, ideally into the region around $55. That is the 78.6% Fibonacci level, and we could even go down as low as $30. And it's really good that Solana is holding quite well. and it's probably from all the coins that we cover here, one of the more bullish ones, because it is one of the few that hasn't made a lower low yet. If I think about the Cardano chart, also hasn't made a lower low. Ethereum, of course, also not made a lower low. So some are holding really well, and I have much more confidence, or a lot of confidence in these coins, which are currently holding very well, which doesn't mean they are not going to make a lower low. I think they will, but it means that they will not get easily into critical price areas. Yeah, because here everything below $30 for Solana would obviously send it much further down. But also on the other hand, there is a lot of space between where the price currently is and that $30 level. It's 65%. So there's another 65% drop possible before we get into anything which would be, or into any price areas which would be concerning. So I'm not really worried about Solana here at the moment. Looking decent, looking okay, just moving sideways though. Short-term upside potential only possible at the minimum as soon as we get above that red zone here, all the way up to $111, $122. To the downside, next support would be here around the area of $75 to $78. Yeah, should today's market decision or Fed decision send the prices down, I think this is where we are going to land. So at the moment is really a time to wait, not to speculate, especially not before such a decision like that. That is why traders at the moment are waiting, institutions are waiting, because they're waiting for that decision. You know, there's no reason here to speculate into anything when we don't have a decision yet. It would just be like gambling, okay? So be aware of that. That is just my opinion here about that. And yeah, that is currently my view here about Solana. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.